Hello and welcome to Raising the Bar, the go-to podcast for business owners and entrepreneurs looking to elevate their marketing game. Today, we've got a fantastic guest for you. She's the owner of SOTA Salon, one of Dubai's most in-demand luxury hair salons, recently rated the #1 salon in Dubai by none other than What's On magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, Sophie.
Thank you for having me.
Sophie, thank you for joining us. It's an
Pleasure.
absolute pleasure having you on today. Can't wait to find out a bit more about the salon. Before we do that, let's go way back to the beginning.
God.
What first got you into the hair and beauty industry?
Well, being honest, when I was about 15, I was that girl that every night out, I'd end up at my mate's house doing all the hair. I don't know how I did it. I just had that creative knack. So whenever we were going out, it would be me doing the hair ups, the styling, the straightening. Back then, it was like we were using irons on the ironing board. I knew I had it in me, but from then it was just all go 15. And then I ended up in an apprenticeship. I think I just loved it. It was something that really interested me, being so creative. I was very arty at school, and it just went from there, really, straight into an apprenticeship with a large company that was in Southport, just outside of Liverpool. And I was just on the shop floor from the word go. Loved it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And even at an early age, did you envisage yourself owning a salon? Was that something in your plans, or how did that come to be?
Well, this is my third salon. So for me, I'm very much, when I do something, I go all out. I'm not like a plodder. If I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And I actually got my first salon when I was 19. So when I'd finished my apprenticeship, I was one of the first girls to finish. And I remember the owner of the salon saying, "You've literally ran full steam ahead." And it's because I loved the job so much, but I actually hated the environment. It was a very large salon where I trained. They had 15 salons at the time. And I just found it's difficult in our industry. It's a lot of women. It can be very catty, and it was distracting me. And I thought, I love what I do, but I hate the environment. So went off on my own. My family were like, "What are you doing? You've just qualified and you're leaving." But I had my heart set on just doing it and cracking on myself, and I went for it. So I had a salon with me and just another girl, and then I scaled up quite fast in a year and a half, and then nearly 22, I ended up getting my second salon, which had 12 staff in after 6 months. So yeah,
Real.
I'm very determined.
Exactly. You got the bit between your teeth there.
Yeah.
So SOTA Salon's your third salon.
Yeah,
Obviously, SOTA's in Dubai. The previous two were both Southport, Liverpool.
just outside of Liverpool, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And what have you found to be the big differences between your salons in the UK and doing a salon in Dubai for the first time?
A lot of things. Like, I mean, 5 years being in Dubai, a lot of people have said to me, would I open with them here? And I think the main thing in Dubai is there's a lot of red tape. It's very different to home. In the UK, it's very easy to just open something. There's like not as many licenses that are needed and things you have to tick off to have all the certain things running with the salon and beauty industry. Whereas here, everything is monitored it's really regulated, which is great because you have to then give the best service with the right people. And I think it was just, it's very difficult here in many ways, not just opening it up licensing wise, but then finding the right staff as well. So I feel like at home, it's very easy. People can come on board and you're sort of done, you're up running. There's a lot more things to go through here before you can even get going. And you're only as good as your team. So for me, finding the right staff in Dubai, there's a lot of people, but not a lot of people with the top experience behind them. I think that was the main thing for me, so that we could create something here that wasn't already in Dubai.
I always think it's interesting as well, because if you look at like the UK model or Liverpool model, if you take a girl from a salon,
Yeah.
she's usually coming with a strong client base herself.
Yeah.
Where in Dubai, you always seem to get a lot of girls moving here
Yeah,
who are coming into salons without their own clients.
I think that's one of the biggest struggles, as in building the team. So it's took me a year and a half to handpick my team, and they are fantastic. I boast definitely the best in Dubai. It's not something you can rush. You can't rush a skill set. A lot of girls here are sold on the dream of come to Dubai, I'm leaving everything at home, I'm going to work here, be in beauty or hair industry, and earn loads of money straight off the bat. It's not that way. Sadly, for a lot of girls, they are sold the dream where they think I can just go into a salon and I'm done, I'm earning double what I was at home. You're coming with no client base. And a lot of these girls feel like it's easy. In Dubai, when you're building, you have to hustle harder than you've ever hustled before. And I think that's something that's not shared often enough. So with my team, when they come on board, I'm very transparent with them from the word go. As in, it isn't easy. You need to have enough backing for at least 4 months. You're going to have to start again. The hustle is hard. The hours that you worked in the UK, forget them. They don't exist here. As you know, it's the city that never sleeps. It's 24/7. So you'll get bookings at 9, 10, 11, 7 in the morning, and you do them because, it's worth it as well at the end of the day. And it's building your client base. You have to be available. And I think a lot of girls that come straight from UK say they're willing to do it and they understand, the hard work and they've done it at home. But it isn't the case here. And then usually sort of a couple of months in, then they start to panic. Oh, I'm not as busy as I thought. And I'm working hours that I didn't think I'd be working. And you just have to be flexible. It's a completely different sort of kettle of fish out here, as in, you don't get the same, like, what's the word I'm trying to
I get
think
you
of?
exactly.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
No, exactly. And the thing is, like it said, I was saying this to someone the other day, which is like, my missus says it all the time. Why are people WhatsApping you at 11 p.m. at night, 11:30? I don't understand why you're taking business calls. Now, in the UK, to some extent, there are still working hours.
Yeah.
People wouldn't think about you. But in Dubai, that just simply doesn't exist. And the other point you made there, we had a girl on the podcast the other week, and she made what I thought was a fantastic point, which was if you choose to move to Dubai, you've almost got to accept that for 2 years, you're going to have to take a step backwards.
Yeah.
And then you get that compound effect and you fly ahead.
100%. Yeah. And it is the land of opportunity. So what you may have done at home and built for 10 years, like you've just said, if you work hard and you really give it your all for 2 years here, opportunities you'll get here, you would never get at home. Whereas, working with celebrities and events and huge names, in our industry, you wouldn't really get that back in the UK. So I think if you're prepared to hustle, you've got to leave everything you ever knew of a client base and how it works in the UK and literally start fresh.
Exactly.
You're starting from the beginning again.
100%. And you said there, obviously, that, the timings, people expect you to be available all the time in Dubai. There's appointments in the morning, the evening. In terms of client expectations here compared to the UK, are there any other big differences you see?
You're on demand. They think you're on 24/7 call. And again, I mean, a lot of clients here, we have a lot of, everyday expats, people work hard, they start early, they finish late, so they need us to work a bit later. Also, you have your VIP, VVIP clients, and you are much more on demand for them. It's fantastic to have certain people on board, so you are going to be more flexible and available if that's where you want to go. Not everyone wants to sort of deal with that level of client base, but when building a brand and something as big as I want us to go, you have to work to their times as much and be flexible, not a 9 to 5 here. Dubai isn't a 9 to 5.
No, never.
Never is in any industry, but yeah, you just got to be available.
Unbelievable. And when you open SOTA Salon, or even the process to opening it, obviously, if you drive around Dubai, there are salons everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of salons. Was there a particular way in which you've tried to differentiate to find your niche in the market or to stand out?
100%. Like, I've been here freelancing for 5 years before this happened and I opened up. And I just felt that I was frustrated listening to all my clients say they go there for the nails, there for the hair, weren't really buzzed about the service they were getting. They were still paying a decent amount of money. So for me, it was about creating something that doesn't exist here and I've not seen yet. And I hadn't seen building in the 5 years I've been here. So for me, it was about creating something that stood out. And people do pay a lot of money for service and you don't get a great service in Dubai. So I wanted to create something luxury as well as zen that was very welcoming, not intimidating like a lot of places can be, and just give people back a little bit to what they're actually spending. Like, I want people to come in and not just leave feeling wow, but I want them to walk in and be wowed as well. And I think that's something that was definitely missing and has been. So yeah, that's when I created SOTA, luxury and zen with everything all under one roof.
And I think that's a good point you make there, because the word luxury gets thrown around so much in Dubai. A lot of the time with things that, the service just doesn't back up that luxury wording. It's just like a word that people buzzword, isn't it?
they attach it to Dubai, and it's actually the opposite. Like a lot of things, sadly, if it's in Dubai, you do think, wow, and it is amazing, but service and luxury, I feel lacks massively in a lot of areas. So when I was creating SOTA and designing and building it, that was just the top of my point of it had to be this. It had to shine. It had to be wow when people walk in. And that isn't where it ends. You know, it's not just the aesthetics, it's everything that follows with it as well.
So you've really tried to create somewhere where the environment, the staff, everything about it all matches up.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. And looking at when you first opened the salon, I can imagine it was quite a daunting process. You mentioned the red tape. How long did that process from first having the idea, the concept, to actually opening the doors take?
Well, I think at the time I thought it would take a year, but the team we had on board, we rushed and pushed because we knew that we wanted to be open by the summer of 2023. And we definitely opened earlier than we probably should have, but we were raring to go, and we had a lot of clients already from my client base that we were just, you know, holding back. So in total, it took about 6 months from start to finish to literally design it, build it, open up.
Yeah. And what was that process like from when you first opened? Because I can imagine like there's that much time, effort, sleepless nights going into the build
carnage.
process. Yeah.
It was literally carnage.
And then what's it like when you open on day one? Because I can imagine it's the stress starts all over again with how on earth do we fill this place?
Yeah, I mean, I think because of the way I am, that wasn't my concern. Like I knew we were going to be the top of our game. I knew we were going to be full. And I think because of how I am as a person and what I'd done on my own for the 5 years, I was just going to carry on with the same. Like, you know, push, be available. I already have like a backing and a following from my client base that I already built. So that didn't worry me. It was more like, in my mind, I wanted to make sure the staff were happy and show them that this is going to be the best decision you've ever made. So I was more nurturing them because the girls we had to start with obviously were fresh from the UK. And I know that they can do it, but obviously because I've already done it. So if they're in the same mindset and they're willing to just go for it, then there was no concerns from my side about filling it. It was about getting the right staff, and then everything else would come.
Exactly.
So,
and getting the right staff, was that in terms of getting the people who you thought were the best for the job, or people with good followings? How did you kind of attack that?
I don't think the following matters as much. It's about the person, because some people, you know, say back from my era, like, you know, back then it wasn't all about Instagram, whereas now it's all digital marketing, whereas it wasn't that big a thing then. So it wasn't really the focus of followers. It was the person themselves, the energy, how well and how hard they're willing to work, you know, what their past was. So most of the team have either had their own business or ran their own columns within businesses. So it was very much they've been their own boss, because SOTA stands obviously for state of the art. In respect, I didn't want any juniors. Everyone on that shop floor is, you know, top tier, the most advanced level in each of the field. And that's why I wanted that, so that it carries through to what SOTA believes, like what SOTA is, you know.
100%. And your team, do the team sort of market themselves, or do you as a business market everyone in there?
It's both. So we give 110 for the team. We have a content team on board now who are fantastic. That took a bit of time to find the right team that obviously got my vision as well for the brand. As we're unique and, you know, we are luxury, I wanted that to follow through on the Instagram and the TikTok and the YouTube, which we have now got the most amazing team, and they get it. So we give as much for our team in-house, and then they do as much themselves. So we share everything equally. They send us all their content every week, and then we sort of equally disperse that across all forms of the social. And then we have our own team as well come in. Now they're on board with us 3 times a week, and they're in-house capturing all the candid moments. So it's good.
You need that,
yeah,
don't you?
You need it.
I always think, you know, when people say, I'm going to bring a social media manager, if they're not there in your business, how can they possibly get, like you said, those behind-the-scenes moments, those authentic moments?
Exactly.
The stuff you actually want people to see.
And it's real. Like, we are real. You know, people come in and say, oh, it's so gorgeous, and maybe, you know, we're not sure how it would be because it's so fancy. But whenever they leave, they're like, the team is amazing. It's so down to earth. it's a very British vibe. You know, the girls are all stunning and fabulous and great at what they do. So you can't really ask for any more than that. And then obviously, again, going back to that question with the social media, we give as much as they do. And I always say to the girls, if you want to also have your individual, you know, create a niche, create your own vibe so that you stand out. Even though we're all SOTA, you can still have your own sort of, you know, niche way of marketing, or so someone always recognizes you as you. I think it's just so important.
They've got to be able to have their own personality as
Yeah,
well, haven't they?
own
Yeah.
personalities, yeah.
And you mentioned there when you started off, social media wasn't really a thing. Now it's so big.
Yeah.
Just how essential to running a successful salon in Dubai is having a social media presence.
I feel like it's like right there at the top, to be honest. I think a lot of the girls that have started that maybe weren't as busy, we have like, you know, made a point, look, the busiest people are the people that post. And we had this in a meeting last week. Busy people get busy. People that aren't, they don't build.
Yeah.
And it's a fact. At the end of the day, you don't have to have clients in as such to be busy on social media, but you should always be posting. That's how you're going to grow yourself. You walk past a restaurant and one's empty and one's full. You're not going to go and wait for a seat in the empty one. You're going to go to the one that's full just because there's people in it. So it's the same on your social media. You should always keep active, you know, whether it's just, you know, products or a day in the life of. People want to see you now more than ever. People want to see your personality, what you do, as well as being a beauty therapist or a hairdresser. So it's definitely about focusing on, as much as you're working, your content needs to be as busy, you know,
Exactly.
at the top.
I think that's when I see it from an external point of view, and I see some salons there. Their only social media is like a balayage melt, a hair extension to the back of
Yeah.
it. There's got to be something about the people, like you said, coming into an environment where if you are British, you do want to be around British girls. You want that kind of chat in the salon,
Definitely.
showcasing that as well.
Yeah.
And I was looking through your Instagram last night, and obviously you've worked with some fantastic people. There's influencers in there, celebrities. Just how big's that been for raising your profile and the salon's profile?
Amazing. Like, honestly, I'm so grateful. And I think it just spiraled off. You know, that's how I grew my business in Dubai. I was very focused on, you know, the influencer side, because in the UK, you don't get as many opportunities to, you know, work with people like that, celebrities and influencers. So when I had my first opportunity to work with, it was actually Olivia Bowen. It was the best feeling ever. And I thought, wow, like, oh my God, you know, watched her on TV. She's absolutely amazing. And then because I'd, you know, been able to post that I'd had her as a client, that then grew. And then I found over time, different influencers or people off reality TV and shows were contacting me. And then I just ran with it. And now I'm at a stage where, you know, a lot of those people have become very good friends, which I'm ever so grateful for. And then moving from myself into the salon, then that's just spiraled, because I've scaled up so fast with having that kind of background, and then being able to bring those people in for the girls as well, because I've worked with a lot of them now and they're fantastic. And then they've obviously supported the salon massively. They've offered to work with us. You know, very good friends, Daisy and Ellie, launched the hair brand with us. And I couldn't have wished for anything more amazing opportunity wise. And then being able to give that to the girls as well. Like, a few of the girls in the salon have said, you know, oh my God, I'd have never seen these girls at home. And I'm like, oh my God, they're amazing. Like, they're just normal people, but it's so nice for everyone else to experience it. But as in working with them and that helping scale the business, it's been fantastic.
And you said there how a lot of them, like with the way you seem to your influencer marketing, it's quite authentic. Like they are natural relationships you have with them, or real friendships. Do you think that kind of shines through as opposed to just going and paying people for videos sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the prices that people want now is extortionate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely not. But, you know, I worked for free for many years when I started out. I mean, I remember, you know, my partner Mandy used to ring me and go, where are you? I'd be leaving like the Paramount at 1 a.m. because I'd have stayed, I've been so available and so flexible. I was doing girls' hair till all hours. I did a lot of people for free then, a lot of collaborations. But it's, you know, thankfully it's all paid off, and it's got me in the situations now where these people are friends or are paying clients, and I don't have to do the stuff for free, and the salon doesn't have to collaborate really anymore moving forward with people like that. There are obviously people we do collaborate with, but new people coming in, you know, we're at a stage where we can say, yes, we'd love to, or actually no. And, to be able to do that is fantastic.
And do you ever find that as Dubai like a problem in general with people wanting things for free?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know
Yeah.
without putting my foot in it here,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people in Dubai who do tend to, they're quite cheeky, aren't they? Like
Definitely.
they've got 6,000 followers and they want a free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do get it. Like the requests are full of people saying, I'm in Dubai and we'd love to collaborate, and say no more. Literally,
it's not
just
easy, is it?
swipe past.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you said there about the business scaling so fast. How long has the salon been open for now?
It's been up and running for a year and a half. Yeah, I mean, it's scaled fast. And I mean, we've grown 20% every month. It's been fantastic. And we've now got 28 staff, and it's going to, keep growing.
And what are the main, obviously it's unbelievable, like 20% growth month on month is unheard of in that industry, really, isn't it? But in terms of what big challenges have you found scaling at that pace?
If I'm honest, probably the main challenge is just getting the right staff. Because you can be going at a pace and everything's right, and then, a lot of people, like I said, aren't used to the Dubai industry and the life and how the clientele is. It's completely different. No one books in advance, so you could feel, new to Dubai, quite unsure and insecure about that when your diary's not full. You could be empty for a week, coming on the Monday, but by the Tuesday you're full.
So is that because in the UK women tend to book like every 6 weeks and stuff, don't it? But in Dubai it's just last minute.
We get very few that book ahead. The girls that do know that they won't get in otherwise. But most of the time it's last minute bookings. And I think transitioning from the UK mindset to here, that's what girls struggle with the most. So when it comes to staff and building a team, I think that's one of the biggest challenges, because you try to, advise and tell the girls that this is normal and you will grow, just be consistent, stay focused. But I think a lot of them find that really difficult, and then they tear off. But again, in Dubai, take your foot off the gas and someone else is just going to come past you. So you've got to really have that mindset to keep going. And I think in SOTA, we're so strong and supportive with growth, and we know where we're all going. And that's why I don't know SOTA's for everyone in respect, because we're a very motivated team. And I think that's been the biggest challenge, getting the staff right.
Recruitment in Dubai is very difficult.
Yeah.
I think particularly when you bring people from the UK, because so many people who come from the UK maybe come with the wrong intentions of it's all about the good life rather than the hard work behind it.
Party 5 days, work 2, and expect to be millionaires. It's just not happening.
And I bet that's even harder for you, because really the target audience of stylists you're bringing over are probably young girls that want to be on West Beach every night of the week.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did, I said at the start we would only take people on of a certain age due to having so much experience in the field. And then, I'm all for everyone deserves a chance. And we did take people on younger than I'd planned to around the start, but it didn't work out, and that's fine. You learn, and then moving forward now, the staff are all with a set amount of experience, minimum 5 years. No one really less than mid-20s, because it just...
Yeah, we've all learned
they
that.
They get too swayed to West Beach and stuff like that, so the focus is work for us,
It seems like the dynamic you've got in there now is a great dynamic for people that want to come over and want to achieve. Looking back at those clients, you said about people booking in. How is it in terms of client retention in Dubai compared to the UK?
Client retention, I mean, it is fantastic, to be fair. I think because there's such a struggle in Dubai of, for example, if you can do blondes, it's like gold dust, because there's a lot of people here, but not everyone is at the top of the game, let's say. And I think when someone finds you and they're happy with the service, the nails, the lashes, the hair, they stick with you. Like the clients I've had from 6 years ago, I've still got majority, because they're like, I am too scared to try anywhere else because you've got it right. And I think that's the problem. And that goes back to how we also, go through the process of taking on our staff. We have 2 trades tests with everyone. And I know when I first came to Dubai, I went to a few salons because I didn't know if I was going to work within a salon or not. And not one of them asked me for a trades test, which I found really alarming. They were like, don't worry about certificates. You can start tomorrow. And I thought, Jesus.
Just a bum on a seat.
Yeah, literally a bum on a seat. But, we do have a structure and a process where there is 2 trades tests for everyone, just so that, people can talk the good talk, and I think you just have to follow through, and that's to protect the business and also the client. So yeah.
So we've covered that year and a half to date there,
Yeah.
the fantastic growth SOTA Salon's had so far. But you're not finished there, are you?
No, not at all, just starting.
Talk us through the next few years? What's the plans for the salon? What's the plans for expansion?
Well,
without giving too much away.
I can't say too much,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's very big plans. I think, we've had a great opportunity to be able to sort of collaborate with Glazed Aesthetics, which is the skin side of SOTA. So Glazed and SOTA moving forward will, we have plans, very big plans. Definitely multiple locations. And in the very near future, there will be some visits and, let's just say a few locations in the very near future.
There's plenty for people to keep their eyes on there.
Oh, definitely. And I won't take my foot off the gas, because I think with SOTA, like for me now, this wasn't just a salon. I said that from the start. If I'm doing this again, then I'm going all out. I'm building a brand, a community. We're not just the salon. We have our hair brand, and then we also have the salon side of things. And that is something that I want to take global. So the way I am, I definitely will not be stopping. But yeah, very exciting for this year. There's going to be some big changes.
I think what you said there is a really interesting point, because the main thing so many brands around the world, from big to small, are concentrating on right now is this community building.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting you saw that for the salon, because I don't think many people in the hair industry have built community yet.
No.
How do you see that kind of playing a part in your growth?
Well, I think it all stems from, for me, you're only as good as your team, right? So look after your team, they look after you. We go into work. I'm not a boss that just stands there and watches from afar. I get stuck in. As an owner, a business owner, I don't know how you can monitor what goes on if you're not in there most days. You need to be with the team, feel the team, and feel the team's needs, And for me, to do that is by keeping them happy, build a community, everyone that they've brought on board, all work together. So giving back to the team and the clients. The team are working hard, the clients are spending a lot of money. So to build communities it's credibility for the salon, and it shows we do care. People aren't just coming in, spending money and going. So we look after everyone, and building a community creates so much more noise as well around the salon. So it works in every way positive then. A lot of the girls are into their fitness, so we create a lot of wellness days. We did that with Mel McAllister, which is still ongoing now. We're just planning for the next breathwork sessions. We've just struck a partnership with an amazing, incredible fitness company, which I can't say yet, but it will be happening this week. And again, it's just to build so much noise around SOTA. We are state of the art in every way. And it isn't just a salon, it's much bigger than that. And community is key.
Yeah. I think, like you said there, about the atmosphere as well, because men's hairdressers were obviously there for nowhere near as long.
Yeah.
But even then, you can tell straight away if there's a bad attitude between the team.
Yeah.
If you think about women's salons, women can be in there for what, 5-6 hours?
Oh, God, yeah.
In that 5-6 hours, you get a pretty good idea of what's going on around you, don't you? Like, if nobody gets along, if nobody wants to be there.
Oh, yeah. Energy doesn't lie. You feel it straight away. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that I'm huge on my feedback as well, and reviews and feedback from clients. And straight away, the first thing that everyone says is, the girls are great, the energy's great, it's a vibe. Someone said to me actually last week, they were like, I just love coming here, just to come here for the macaroons and the coffee. Yeah, the girls are fantastic. Yeah. So for me, it's so important to create that atmosphere. It is electric in there. It's such a great vibe. It's not, I know it's my salon, but my last 2 salons when a vibe as good as this, I know that this is at the top.
A bit different.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we look at the bigger picture,
yeah,
we talked about the salon, we talked about the growth, the market in general, where do you see the hair industry going over the next few years? Any big changes you see happening in it? Any particular growth areas?
It's not stopping. There's so much growth. I mean, it's probably one of the, the biggest, fastest growing industries in the world. I mean, hair extensions started off years and years and years ago, and now it's, I think it's 1% that don't wear them. It's massive, and it won't slow down. So I think it's about keeping up with the times and, knowing what people's needs are, evolving with the times, with, implementing the right training, and keeping on top of the game. But the industry is definitely not slowing down.
Good industry to be in right now.
Yeah, it's fab.
Right, Sophie, you ready for some quick fire questions before we finish off today?
Right, go on.
Okay. Tell me, if you had to describe SOTA Salon in 3 words, what would you go for?
Luxury, electric, the best.
I like that.
That was 4.
We'll give the best. We'll call it. We'll just say best. Okay. The one thing you wish someone had told you before you started the process for opening SOTA Salon in Dubai?
That you weren't going to sleep for a year and a half, and it was literally going to take blood, sweat, and tears. But it's worth every minute of it. And I think that's what fires me up the most. The stress. I thrive from it, but it's good stress.
Exactly. What's life without a little bit of stress? And finally, if you were to give, a young girl out there who's built her way up in the industry, she's looking to open her own salon, what would you, if you could go back to your younger self or you were speaking to them, what piece of advice would you give them?
100% go for it. Don't regret the things you didn't do.
Yeah.
That right? No, said that wrong.
Oh, that's fine.
Regret the things that you didn't do, not the things you did do.
Yeah.
I feel like if you've got that burning inside and, you're thinking of doing it, go for it, because at the end of the day, that you've tried it and given it a go. And this industry is a fantastic industry to get into. A lot of money can be made, as well as doing something that you actually love and enjoy. And I feel like 100% just go for it. Yeah.
That's a perfect way for us to finish off today. Sophie, it's been absolutely fantastic having you. It's great to see someone who's got so much passion and energy towards the business. The growth you've had over the last year has been unbelievable, and let's hope it continues for years to come. For people watching today, where can they find out more about yourself and SOTA Salon?
So we've got obviously our Instagram at SOTA.salon. We are now on TikTok and YouTube. So for all the candid moments and all the salon series, you can find us on there. We're based in JVC, and obviously you can WhatsApp us, Instagram us, get hold of us pretty much anyway.
Perfect. So for anyone looking for a fantastic salon in Dubai, you know where to look. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. Please remember to follow, like our content, and subscribe. It lets us keep producing more and more episodes. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you very much.